Okay for now, because that's gonna be a huge expense. But anyway, a boiler is gonna have to be replaced. We have to have all.
Yeah.
But and putting the softener system on that, and then once we do that, is a monthly expense to that. With the cooling tower.
Yeah, right.
We paid $400 and some odd dollars at school, and some odd dollars at the elementary.
Yeah.
And so that'll be probably another 400.
I don't think it will. It should, and you shouldn't add that much, it's just about adding in a water softener, and just be more chemical.
So as of today, they're coming back Thursday, and Melanie wanted them to take a look at the holding tank. There's the boiler, supposed to take it, but because when you start adding the softener, it may break, yeah. Melanie's just doing due diligence they're gonna, the boiler shot, look at the holding tank at the softener. But do the cost for the softener. Because it will maintain. And the water is so hard over there. Do you have any questions for me?
So is this something we would have to bid out or no?
Yes.
Okay. So if we
It
did
could
make
be
a
emergency
motion,
purchase, but I think you'll have to bid because the amount,
Mhm.
So we need to just motion to put this out to bid.
yes, that we will purchase one and we'll put it.
When we bought it, 5 years ago, it was 36,000.
Well, the problem will be finding one.
For demand and, train. Some of that would be part of state contract with train.
I'm trying to get forward.
I would just put it to bid and
in that bid, you want it to include the water.
Do you think that's, do you agree with that?
I
Mhm.
think that makes sense.
Yeah, it'll be two separate bids. The water softener won't be, it'll be more part of the chemical side of it.
Can we just
is
add
it over $10,000?
Can we just add it to the contract we already have with the guy, or is that?
Melanie and then talk about the chemical.
It's
chemical
got Thursday, too.
CNC on
But
that.
we'll know Thursday
Yeah.
night how we need to make a motion. And right now, we do have hot water there.
Yes. The health inspector has been. And he is satisfied, so. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
All right. Back to number 2 is the consent agenda. A is to approve the minutes of the August 8, 2024 regular meeting and August 27, 2024 special call meeting of the Canyon County Board of Education. B is to approve CCBOE Elementary School Boys Head Coach Skylar Thomas, Canyon County Elementary School Girls Head Coach Penny Nichols, Canyon County Elementary Cheer Coach Lacey Eckhart, contingent on clear background check and drug test. C is to approve Canyon North Elementary Boys Head Basketball Coach Jordan Davenport, Canyon North Elementary Girls Head Coach Courtney Call, and Canyon County North Elementary Cheer Coach Angel Neal, contingent on clear background and check drug test. D is to approve Canyon South Elementary Girls Head Coach Brandy Mullins, Canyon South Elementary Boys Head Basketball Coach Derek Mullins, Canyon South Elementary Cheer Coach Stephanie Lovett, contingent on a clear background check and drug test. E is to approve Science Committee recommendations. F is to approve overnight and out-of-state trips. Trip number 4698 is the CCHS FFA National Convention in Indianapolis, Indiana, October 21st, 2024 through October 26th, 2024. Trip number 4704 is CCHS COLT chapter, officer leadership training camp, Witcher Wagon, Antioch, Tennessee, September 16th through September 18th, 2024. Trip 4712 is CCHS Hospitality Innovations, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, September 29th through October 1st, 2024. And trip number 4716 is Canyon County Middle School 8th grade trip to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, May 12th through May 13th of, I'm gonna say 2025 instead of 2024.
Yeah.
That's a whole day grab a consent agenda.
Annie, I know you're here for one of these, is there?
No, I just want, if you'll have any questions,
For eighth grade.
we're doing the eighth grade trip. We did it last year. We will not be taking one of our buses. We will have a vested bus.
Anybody have anything else? Did everybody say the science committee recommendations in their package? Any other questions? Thank you all. All right, moving on to number 3 is the financial report. Mr. Douglas.
Received those in the mail. We finally closed our year. The state approved our final expenditure report. And we're waiting on them now to approve our fiscal year 25 budget, which has been sent in. It's in their hands now. I guess we can celebrate because this is the first time since I've been here, we put $2 million plus back in the fund balance. And that's, of course, that's thanks to Esther and a lot of other things that went our way, but that was really a good thing. I wish we could continue that trend. That way we could build a reserve when we do now need a big project, like a building or something taken care of. We can have some funds there to at least provide part of it. But anyway, you can pat yourselves on the back. We had a good year, in my opinion. They're hoping for a good year this year. And we'll be sending stuff reports every month. The August report, we don't do the big payroll in August. You know, the teachers don't get paid. So when you see the September report, that's when you're going to start seeing what it's going to be more like every month. Because we have all the teachers getting paid and aides and everything. Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for even doing that.
Number 4 tonight is the Esther report. See Miss Stephanie, but it was in the package.
She's at a federal program conference with Miss Kathy Mullins. What's highlighted is just what she did with the final allocation of what we had left in ESSER 3, discipline, transportation costs, school counselors, and she had $25.46 left, and it went into her mileage for a trip that she took.
Okay. Number 5 is also to approve the revised ESSER 3.0 FY 25 budget and all future amendments and addenda that she has attached also.
Just everything that she had already gone over with you, what we were going to purchase with the remaining funds.
All right. Moving on to number 6 is the supervisor's report. Does anybody have any questions on that? Look like there's been a lot going on since the first of the year, or our school year. All right. If not, we'll move on to number 7 then. Discussion of legacy hallway dedication at Cannon County High School. Y'all got the packet in your, you got it in your packet. What we want to do, and I'll let Courtney take that if we don't mention anything.
I was just gonna say, Ms. Patterson and I have been in discussions, feel like this would be a very appropriate matter, to do. Don't wanna go into too much detail, but as, y'all seen in the statement that I provided to the board, feel like this is well deserving and would like to, proceed with this, hopefully, Thursday night, so.
Thank you, Mr. Nichols. Number 8 is to approve the SAVE Act compliance package.
This is what we do every year. This is our emergency plan. It has to have signatures and sent to the state.
Okay. What, no, moving on. Number 9 is to approve resolution BOE 2425 number 1 and resolution BOE 2425 number 2.
It's just moving, some funds, I believe it has the explanation there, it's pre-K budget. We didn't know our pre-K budget, when we did the budget, so you have to do your best guesstimates, and then you have to move money when you get it, so.
Number 10 is a discussion of an air unit for rooftop over Cannon County Element, or what did you tell me? What number 9 did you tell me?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I thought I jumped ahead. Over the Cannon County Elementary School and Cannon County Middle School cafeteria. Miss Melanie is not here due to air after the school, so. Miss Bonnie.
Well, we had an air unit, another air unit, we have those big rooftop units, and they're 20-something years old now. Our new building is no longer new, and they're going out. We have been able to put a split unit in the cafeteria, now we have 2. And the temps are maintaining with those 2. And here she is.
We're on the middle
air
school
unit.
cafeteria rooftop.
Yes, last year I spoke about that briefly, about it had went out last year as well. But I didn't have that many complaints about it, it was holding its own. This year we caught a lot of heat about it, but I put another P-TAC in there. I had one brand new one put in there last year, which was, or not a P-TAC, a split unit. It was 3 ton. This year, to make everybody happy, I put another 3 ton. And their temp is holding around 71 to 73 degrees. I've got classrooms that's holding higher than that, that's not complaining, so I feel comfortable with that. The high school actually has 77 degrees in their kitchen because they've only had a split unit in there for years, they said, so they're comfortable with their split unit. Last year when I got prices for those, one company come back with 82,000 to replace that unit, and another company come back with 87,000 to replace that. And so last year was a hard year, so we just opted, or I opted and discussed it, and we felt like, just putting that P-TAC in there, if the high school got away with it, maybe we could over there, so that's why we experimented with it. So with 2 in there, it seems to be, holding its own. But if you guys want to go on and get one, Train is actually going back and having to redo their bid because it's a year old. So they said they'd have to redo the bid, so they're actually coming back tomorrow to check it out. So it's probably possibly gonna be higher than the 87. Because they were the ones with 87,000 last year. MRG was with 82. And the thing about MRG, if you go with them, you still gotta pay Train to tie it in, and that's very expensive. I mean, Train's gonna charge you to tie anything in, it's just crazy. So,
How many tons is that unit, do you know?
no, I don't know. It's a big one. I should have looked at it.
How many do we have left over there?
You have, if we get that one replaced, we only have 4 smaller rooftop units that need to be fixed. You got one that's original, so they've done their life expand. I mean, I'm just tickled they've held them that long, and I think that's just keeping them maintained, belts changed and filters and all that, because you've got one that oversees the office area, one over the library. We have one over the art room that does the art room and the band room, and then one more over in the dining room area. So you really need 5 replaced, but if you did this one, then you'd be down to 4.
And you said you could use that split unit somewhere else?
Yes, ma'am. I'll take the 2 that I put in the cafeteria and I'll use those split units somewhere else. So, I mean, it's not like we've lost any money on that. Those can be taken out easy. You won't ever even be able to tell they was there. So, I mean, I can take those out and utilize them somewhere else if y'all put the big one in.
But the boiler, which budget would that come out of? Both these,
Don't have to come out of GP. I
both
mean,
these?
CP or capital outlay?
capital outlay. For adequate facilities tax. We have $425,000 in adequate facilities tax. That can be used for capital projects.
And the boiler, I mean, I've got one price on the boiler so far. And then the other one is Train's actually coming tomorrow to look at that because it was only 3 months out of warranty. And so, they're coming back tomorrow just to make sure that, you know, and they're talking to the sales guy, trying to get us a better deal because they felt like that it shouldn't have went out that quick, but the man looked at it and so did Train backed the man up that said it's absolutely blowed, it's just hard water running through it. I mean, it's just pure, I mean, when we took it apart, it was totally crusted over with white, you know, hard water. I mean, that's all it is. So, you know, it's kind of like I told Train, I said, if you guys, when y'all put that in, would have told someone to put a softener on that, I'm sure they would have done it at the time. I said, so now that, you know, this has happened to me, I'd already went above them and said, you know, if we get a new one, I think I need a, you know, softener. So I'd already called the company and I've already got them lined up to be there tomorrow to tell me how much that's gonna cost to have it on there. And then when Train finally called me back, they said, oh, you'll need a softener. I said, oh, I'm already ahead of you. I said, y'all should have told that 5 years ago. I said, because we would not have been in the mess we're in if you would have just said, hey, put it on there just to be on the safe side. And yeah, that's gonna be another monthly fee. I mean, we already paid for chemicals for the cooling tower at the high school and the elementary school. I think we paid $400 and something a month for those. So this would just be another chemical charge you have to pay monthly.
But they probably covered it under warranty if they looked inside of it.
Now, I
It
was,
would have never got covered.
yeah, I was hoping that it was
That
gonna
would
be a
have been
flop.
on us, because we didn't put a softener on it.
Yeah,
They would have threw that back at us, so we'd have never got it under warranty anyways. But I would suggest when you bid the boiler out to ask for what the extended warranty would cost.
okay, yeah, cause I've been buying extended warranty on stuff. Yeah, I'll just, and, you know, with Train, the one that, they don't even make the same one, so we have to go with a different boiler now, and they're already telling me that the plumbing will not fit the way it is right now, so it has to be replumbed. And then we have the huge water tank in there holding, and so Alex from Train actually said, I'm worried about your holding tank. He said, because if it was that much going through the, you know, boiler to burn it up, he said, your holding tank could be eat up as well. And if that happens, then the bottom of that holding tank's gonna blow, but he said that they would look at that tomorrow too, so I mean, that could be another expense, the holding tank as well. So you got plumbing problems and boiler problems and a holding tank here.
Number 10, you know, just, me personally, I think we put it for bid. And just say, I mean, we don't have to approve it. We're at.
See the difference last year to this year?
I mean, I'm sure it's gonna look, I'm gonna say you're probably gonna look at 85, 95 now. Just what I've been seeing, but I may be wrong.
You said the other rooftop units, how much more life do they have?
Oh, I mean, it's 23, 24 years old. I mean, their normal rooftop doesn't hold up to what, they're 20, 25
You're
years.
good if you get 20.
So,
Now you're good if you get 15 of these,
Yeah.
anything 2010 and over. But the next problem we're fixing to run into is anything after January 1st, you're gonna have new refrigerant in. And it's gonna be more expensive and it's gonna be a lot. So we're fixing to go back into that. We're not even replaced units that 410A replaced now, that we've not replaced. That we're going to replace with another new refrigerant. So,
Y'all's bowler's getting pretty close to the end too, isn't it?
The boiler.
That
think we
one
picked-
boiler, yeah, the one boiler is, we talked about that one last year. The old boiler,
Oh.
the original
Oh.
one. So we, they actually quoted that one last year, that was 66,000. It's a bigger,
Do we have water softeners in the hospital?
yes, yeah. Because theirs is all for the cooling tower. So the cooling tower at the grammar school also has it too, but that's a loop, so it's the same water. The same water just circulating over and over. So the cooling tower has a salt and the chemicals. But the kitchen is its own boiler and it's domestic water. So that means it's just pumping city water in 24/7. So you have to treat that different. Like that'll be salt and things that you can actually drink. To where the boilers at the high school, that's not domestic. That's just like the cooling tower. It's just looping through it. So yes, that one. Now, we just started treating that probably 7 years ago, I would think. Yeah, because they had never treated that. Even the guy that said it, he said, listen, is that about right, Courtney? 7 years ago when I got Jim in there?
Possibly,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't,
Because I tried to get them, to do that for a long time over there and they didn't want to do it.
You mean 7 months?
No.
no,
7
it's
years.
been,
Yeah,
it's been a
yeah,
while.
it's been over there for probably 7.
Those pipes that are at the high school, I mean, they were just so.
They were
corroded.
so
I mean,
full.
it's awful.
When he started treating that tower over there, I mean, like, you literally was getting like coal out of those units. Like, you have to go up there, take it apart, pull the strainer out, and it was like you would dump coal out in the middle of the floor. Because when he started treating it, out of all those years that building had not been treated, it was all corroded on the inside. So when he started treating it, he said, I'm not gonna guarantee you I don't blow every pipe up in there, because once you start cleaning that out, you could have a mess. But thank God they didn't bust, but it did clean them out, so we now have clean pipes there. And then when I first took this job, I put in a new filtering system actually to even help even more. So now when we clean them out, they're not half as dirty. So we're starting to get those lines cleaned over there as well. But I mean, it's just time consuming. You gotta go to every roof or every unit up in the ceiling, take it apart, hook hose pipes up to it, flush it left, flush it right, and then, you'll get black sewage water running out of it. But they're getting cleaner, so, eventually they'll get cleaned out, period. It just is gonna be a little time consuming, but,
This facility tax, does that gotta go before the commission if we use it?
We used it to do our feasibility study. That's the only thing that I've used it for, but Neil showed me the different things that we can use for architect, I believe, when we did the building addition, few things. And that is not, we don't get a set amount guaranteed every year. It's just from new builds, correct?
Last year, we averaged 16.8 per month into that account, and it's beginning of this year, so maybe $25,000 a month.
It's a good thing to know that right now.
Sorry.
Was that the tax that Hagan was talking about? We had an issue that come up?
Coming up is,
Well, I'm saying, is that the same one?
yes,
He called it school's facility tax.
My first professional opinion is you need to replace what's there. That's my professional. Because you went from probably, with this price, I'm gonna say you're probably looking at probably close to 15-ton unit to 6 tons of filler. Which is like take your house unit and put it in there. So that'd be like taking your AC out of your house and putting 3 window units. To fill it all in. But that's my professional opinion. Being in HVAC, I would replace what's there. But there was one on Thursday night. Does anybody have any more questions on number 10? We discussed number 11. And Miss Melanie's added some to that. And then when we go on to number 12, is to approve review of school board policies 1.100 through 1.906. Most of these would look like they've been
They are,
established in
it's just,
19.
it's school board operations. Last year, I think we added the charter school policies. I looked through all of them today, there wasn't anything. We're gonna talk about one that we caught.
Have any questions? All right, number 13 is to approve revisions of policy 1.200, 4.600, and 4.700.
The first one is your election of officers, and I think we've already talked about that, adding that legislative representative from their model policy. I put the old policy in there, you can see that it was only chairman, vice chairman on that policy. 4.600, new law passed General Assembly. We're not allowed to have a grading floor below or above a 0. Like you have to have 0 as something that a child can get. And we don't do that. Our grading scale has a 0 there in the grading scale. The next one is 4.700, and they changed the law on how much a TCAP test or an intercourse test can count. Can no longer count 25%. The highest it can count is 15%. So I surveyed my principals because they're the ones that will be dealing with this, and they've all suggested that we keep it at the highest amount, which is 15%. It could go between 5 to 15%. And they chose across the board, elementary, middle, and high school, 15%. And that's it. That's what the policy changes were.
It doesn't make a difference on the kids that would have to retake it this past year.
It's on your first test, not the retakes. This is just in the grade, in their final grade, averaging in their academic grades for the school. Has nothing to do with the TCAP score itself.
Just like stuff for kids, teachers, and
Well, it gives some ownership. Principals felt like that you need to do something, because if you don't, they're not going to take it seriously. And since it's such a high stakes test, you have some ownership.
Any questions on those policies? All right, number 14 is discussion possibility of purchasing land next to County Elementary School. Mr. Wade, you want to take this?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it to you tonight. Some of you may not be familiar with what happened about 3 years ago. The Hoover property, I'm going to call it the Hoover property. That's whose family was in so long. We had a chance to buy that property next to County Elementary. For many reasons and unforeseen on our part, we lost that land, a chance to buy it. The individuals who bought it turned around and offered it back to us for about $1.3 million. If I remember right, 4, you remember, Neil? Somewhere in that, there's over $1 million. I have always dreaded possibly seeing those tiny houses go up through Annie-Cox Drive. As you well know, the property is landlocked. There is no more property to purchase for the school grounds, and whatever may or may not come in the future for that school, we have an opportunity to buy that land now that we thought we maybe never have a chance to buy again. The individuals are asking $350,000 for it. It's the same land minus 0.59 acres. So we're looking at 2.23,
2.23 acres.
right? So I just wanted to give it to you as a, opportunity for, you guys to think about it and, decide what you might do.
350,000
Yes,
for what's left
what's left,
of what was the Hoover property.
yes. Because my idea, why I thought was a good idea, and my take is, like I said, that we're landlocked. If 10 years from now, 15 years now, 20 years from now, the school system goes, well, we'd like to put something else on school property, maybe a band building, or maybe, keep it as a parking lot or whatever, it'll be gone. And it's only gonna grow in value. So even if we buy it now and 10 years from now, the school board said, well, we'd like to unload it for whatever reason, I think the value will be up there. Do you agree, Neil?
Want to be neutral on that, but yes, I guess. Yes, real estate definitely gonna go up. It's a rare spot.
So that's my proposition, that we may not get this chance again.
You can only pay what an independent appraiser comes up with for the valuation of the land, regardless of whatever, the seller wants for it. We don't know the exact date that we're paying off, the current school debt, but let's imagine that it's by November 1st. So after that, the $10 wheel tax that remains will generate $156,000 a year approximately. If we're looking for ways to pay for a piece of land or something else for that example, sales tax, we know that increases in place, and I think if things proceed the way they're going, we'll be under budgeted by $300,000 of revenue this year. So you'll generate $300,000 extra in revenue in sales tax. So another place where, you might have some money that you had planned for.
Would we have to pay to get that reappraised?
Well, you would hire an independent appraiser, yes. But
You have to bid that out?
the fee would be so little that you wouldn't have to. Be a couple dollars. Like survey done. Someone sits down with comps and generates proper paperwork. And again, adequate facilities tax dollars are a perfect use.
So it comes back that it's worth 280. We can't do no more 280 for it, right?
It's great. Make the difference. That's another story.
Well, I just make sure I understood you.
Yes.
Just for the sake of argument, the tax appraisal, which we know is,
It could be 100% off.
yeah, it could be way off, but I mean, it's what the tax people use. And it's sitting on 313. But that's neither here nor there. That's not market value. What the real market value would be, appraiser would have to tell us that. I think they would take, I'm not sure, I can't answer for them, I'm not gonna put words in their mouth. But I think they want to sell it, I think they'd like to see us get it, and to be all honest, they took 4 lots and built 4 houses on that, on a half-acre land, and they've done well on that. So
if it's something that you would be considering, I would suggest you take an option on it, so that at least you've got some time to get some paperwork together, your numbers together, get your appraisal together. For $1,000, if they'll hold the property for the board to consider for the next 3 or 4 months, or some price, I think that's worth offering to them if it's something that you are considering.
Do we have anything at all from them showing that they're considering this? Anything on paper?
not on paper, no, I don't have anything.
We're just what we would have to do Thursday night is to, if we're interested in talking to them, you then put in a motion for our lawyer to reach out to them or their lawyer. We're gonna do that. And then talk, pass through our lawyer from there. And I know this because I talked to Ben Torres a few months ago about another piece of property I thought was gonna be offered, and I didn't wanna do it the way. And that's what he said, you can reach out and talk, but once you hear that and then you bring it back to the board and discuss it, like Mr. Wade's done, then we'd have to get the lawyer involved
Right.
after Thursday night. So that's what we would have to do, and then get written, or written, whatever written price from them.
Because we do have to discuss these, what Neil's saying is we can ask them.
Yeah, but
Try
you're
to
going,
take off.
but you're gonna have to have your lawyer.
I still think we need something showing.
That's when you
That's what I'm
get,
saying,
that's
what
when
we have
you'll
to do
get, that's
Thursday.
when you'll
Well,
get,
I mean, not just word of mouth from other people.
that's when you'll get it, Rebecca.
That's why you get the lawyer.
You'll get a written, offer, what they want for it.
Well, I mean, how did we find out about this? Did they just like call somebody up and say, hey, we got this land, or?
Somebody just told me.
So I'm saying, I don't go with word of mouth.
Okay,
Well, I do know.
I'm not gonna get into
One
semantics,
of the
Rebecca.
personal-
I'm just
I'm
saying,
just trying to do the
I'm-
correct thing legally and
Okay,
everything.
okay.
It's real estate, it all has to
We're
be
just-
ready to proceed, and then.
Yeah.
we're just discussing this, you know, it's,
The personal,
there's other steps.
one of the half owners spoke to me about it 3 months ago. That before it even got brought up about the sale. And asked if he thought the school board would be interested in it. I don't know, you have to bring it to us,
Mhm.
is what I told him. And he said, we were gonna talk to Greg Mitchell and Miss Patterson. Whether they talked to them, I don't know. That was in April when that got brought up to me.
Mhm.
So I do know that it is for sure not just, but that's where you have to just vote to get your lawyer involved, if you will find out the real price.
I mean, right now, what happened was Greg Mitchell told me that that land was available. He called the person, that person gave him the price. If that person had said $2 million, well, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. Only reason I brought it to you because I thought it's in some sort of a ballpark where we could deal with it. Because we went from over $1 million down to 350. That's a big jump in 3 years. So that's the only reason I brought it. No, I didn't go talk to that person, and he didn't give me a handwritten statement or nothing. I'm talking, this is word of mouth, but it can go, this is only the beginning step. You wouldn't even have known about it if I hadn't brought it to you.
And that's
Well, they
legal.
would have brought, if, like he's saying, they should have come to us and presented it to us.
Okay. And did you?
Well, Thursday night, it can be voted on then whether to get the lawyer involved or not. I wanna vote on Thursday night to get the lawyer involved and look at possibly discussing with them, then we can. And that's only-
I'm sure they'll come. I didn't even know it would be worth
But
coming.
from here on out, we need a lawyer.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So that's where you're at for Thursday night, according to the standpoint. If you need to have your lawyer vote to have the discussion, to have the lawyer involved. Don't mean you're buying it, don't mean you're offering nothing, we pay our lawyer fee for him to talk to us.
Understanding that is the appropriate way to proceed with anything that you mentioned.
So that's where you're at Thursday night. Before we go any
Mhm.
further on discussion of buying anything, you have to someone's got to make a motion, it has to be voted on, bring the lawyer.
And the lawyer can be paid for with the other facilities.
And the order to be make a motion for our lawyer to make an inquiry.
Moving on to number 15, is to discuss maintenance and facility supervisor job description. Bonnie?
I think, Mr. Wade we had talked about putting, just adding the grounds to her job description. It says buildings. The job title itself says facilities, so that's any building structure. that the grounds should be added because, we have mowing bids that are getting ready to come up and all of that, and she's in charge of all of that. So if you want to tighten up this job description, really, I could just add it, but it needs to come to your attention because the director can make job descriptions. So, but it needs, I want all of you to understand why this is being added.
And this would be like just mowing around with bleachers at the football field.
That's it.
and
She wouldn't be,
stuff like that,
she wouldn't
not
be
the
in
field.
charge of the field itself, like the mowing of the field itself. It's just all the,
Bushes.
anything to do with the grounds keeping.
Well, you want me to say what our
Go ahead.
original intent was?
Yes,
Her sheet says she supervises general maintenance employees, custodians, structures of all county schools. Then it goes scope, goals, responsibilities, the following duties are normal for this job. These are not to be construed as exclusive or all-inclusive. Other duties may be required and assigned as needed. So what I saw was, we own everything. We own all the facilities, the grounds, the buildings, and then we have somebody that's in charge of that. So all I'm saying is, when somebody wants to do something to something on the property that deals with any of those matters, she's the supervisor. So you don't have too many chiefs and not enough Indians. Even if they want to do something, just come and ask and see if she thinks that's a feasible thing to do, not be deterrent to the property. In other words, somebody could go over and start, building on the side of the athletic facility and not say nothing to anybody. Well, it's got to go, somebody has to approve that. And you said not mow, but at the same time, she needs to be informed when somebody's going to do something to athletic fields because she's already doing that. She was down there when they put the fences up and actually made suggestions and had the fence put really back where it should have been on the baseball field. It's better now than it was before because it opened up the outfield boundaries where a person could go over and catch a fly ball and stay in bounds. Before it was on a cricket, wasn't even straight, wasn't even close. The other thing is we have to consider is that to maintain our fields, somebody has to say, okay, we're going to fertilize, we're going to weed eat, we're going to put herbicides down. Whatever it takes, somebody has to know that's going to be done and what the schedule is. And I think that should be part of the facilities. And that's all I wanted to clarify is that her job description covers things where she is informed when things are going to be done. So somebody can make a decision. And she should be the one making those decisions. She's not saying she doesn't want help. She's not saying nobody can do what they need to do, but just let her know what's going on. I think it's just a good thing to do to cover ourselves.
So like, for example, whenever they poured, the concrete and did all that. So instead of just saying, hey, we're gonna do that, they're gonna first go to Melanie and say, can we do this? Is this a good idea?
If that's not something that the board has to totally approve on,
Right.
then they should say, yeah. And she say, okay, what's your plan? What's going on? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? And
Right.
if you're changing a structure or you're adding anything to our campuses, it has to go before the board.
right.
Right.
But in this case, if that's added, then she would be the one presenting it and not the principal.
Right.
It just takes it a little bit less stress off the principal.
Well, and I mean, she's ultimately gonna be the one maintaining all of this.
Right.
Exactly.
So, I mean, she needs to know if that's something that she's gonna be capable of maintaining and how to maintain it, so.
Right.
Melanie, what do you think?
I'm already doing it anyway. I mean, honestly, communicate all well with all the principals.
They are. I mean, principals. I mean, they're bringing it to the board, the principals are, but that's why I said it'd take less work off them. They wouldn't have to do the presentation. It would go through there, I guess.
Just maintain the flow there. Pretty much is-
Well, I know how it's been in the past with our system. Somebody had said something, this one said that, and then next thing it said, where's that written down? So this just gets it written down. She can say, hey, this is part of my job, and look at my job description if you don't believe me.
Anybody have any other questions? Discussion
So,
So what would we add?
so was it gonna be maintenance, facilities and grounds
Yeah.
supervisor is gonna be her title?
Technically.
No, it goes down in her
should be.
description,
Oh, it just goes in the description.
supervising description, where it says supervise, she supervised.
She's already over the grounds, but she handles all the mowing.
Yeah, it just didn't specifically say that,
Okay,
but
So wherever it says in this, under this essential functions, I just need to add the word ground.
Yeah, under super, this is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
General maintenance employees, custodians, grounds and structures of all things.
yep,
Well, the,
I think that would get it.
okay,
That's the only place I would say.
That's where I see it.
and grounds.
because it sort of has in there, it effectively collaborates with internal and external parties, administrators, public agencies, regulators, contractors, she's already doing all that. Vendors,
I only see like the mowing in her description, but it would be under contractors.
yeah,
Really, there's no motion, we'll just be.
You just have to make a motion to add, and you have to.
I don't think you have to have a motion, because these job descriptions are the duty of the director of schools. So all I have to do is add a word here or there.
well, we can make a motion that you had to.
Well, no, we don't have to.
We don't,
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's already
But
moved
if
on.
if you want to, you can, but you don't have to.
Okay,
And then I'll get it done.
Thank you all, thank you, Louise. Number 16 is to approve the ISM budget for 2024-25. I'm assuming that's you, Ms. Kennedy.
It is, and we have a copy of it, that I gave you at 5:59. And this is just the remaining balance that we have left on that grant. And I just have to get your approval before we can start spending that money.
Anybody have any questions? That's fine. Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. Number 17 will be Ms. Barnes' comment.
I do have one comment. We have had problems with our streaming tonight. Michael, they've been trying to get it streamed. It will not stream, but it is recording. I just wanted to make everybody aware in case you get emails from people saying, hey, we weren't streaming. They've tried everything. It is recording. They will load the recording as soon as we're finished.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a pause in this.
Something, we've had some glitches going on, with our technology. Computer completely fried, brand new one this morning. What's going on?
Number 18 will be your chair's comments, and then number 19 will be adjourn. I would like to remind everybody that the time has been changed to Thursday night at 5 instead of 6 for this month. It'll be 5 o'clock at the Cannon County Elementary / Cannon County Middle School cafeteria. Thank you.
Well, we I noticed, got a line, yeah.
My way.
It's hard. There's a star. Didn't say it's a great start. It's a start.
I'm good, thank you. I'm glad you're
You're right.
They could not be that. They could not be that. They just come up with that.
It's somewhere we did it, and that came up. I'll take it.
Good.
Miss Beth,
We can do something for me. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I just want to tell y'all, I'm the
I did see.